so local 80s band, My Pierrot Dolls. Am I saying that right, Ivor?
Yeah, it's called Piero, so just think of a P and a chocolate bar arrow.
You've told me this before as well. So going back to it, local band, My Pierrot Dolls. Why didn't you call it something more sensible that people could read? My Pierrot Dolls are back with a gig in March. So what can we expect from this reunion? Well, joining me in the studio from the band, Ivor Hillman, Ian Hillman, and Pete Antliff are here. You had this idea of getting you guys back together just for like this one-off show. Did you expect, Ian, that it would take off like it has done?
I did actually, because as you know, Ivor's always on social media pushing it.
That is
Lovely,
lovely.
love that. Yeah. That's the first time in 60 years I've ever said up nice about me.
Give that a round of applause, what enough, well done. Now Ivor, he's in a tribute band called Echo Beach, right? And the lady that he's been performing with, they've been performing for years and years and years.
So what can be said about Kirsty? Well, Kirsty, bless her heart, she's been singing with me now for nearly 33 years. She came as a young lass from Rochdale.
In Donny, that time when you broke down roaring, saying I've had enough of this, can't stand it.
It's a long time, isn't it?
You know, like when
You've got to put up with shit.
She probably thinks that her life's been ruined because she's given her life to music and that. But she's 100% her. She never ever lets you down.
We had a disastrous week last week. Kirsty doing some running repairs on her top, so that's what you have to be in this game. I just want to show you this. Right, we've just seen this. Now I'm going to give you a close-up of that. That is actually Kirsty's combat trousers, and she's been eating curry all day, and as you can see, I'm going close in, she's followed through. That is actually poo. In fact, I'm going to smell that. That is poo.
I've worked it out. I've done over 10,000 gigs in my lifetime. I've worked to over probably over 2 million people if you add it all up.
So you must be doing something right.
It's guess what Kirsty's doing tonight? She's shaking her head. Can anybody have a guess? All I can tell you is that there is a sink in that vicinity there. Say hello to everyone. What are you doing?
I can't concentrate.
What are you doing, you dirty hacker?
I'm not doing anything. I'm having a wee.
She's having a wee.
We started using a really long delay on vocals, which sounds horrendous, but we're not bothered. The one that you should use is that one, 555. It's a preset number. Billy Idol told us to use 548. Not the real Billy Idol, the Billy Idol tribute.
Right, and I think the actual club's twinned with the fucking Bronx because it is so fucking rough in here.
In the ghetto.
It's unbelievable. We've just done first spot, and I thought we'd got a clap at one point, but I think somebody had farted, or it were Krusty on stage farted.
It were me.
It were a flapper, and I thought, wait,
It weren't a flapper.
We went.
It didn't go like that.
It did, honestly.
Didn't go like
I
that.
thought you'd gone through, to be honest.
I don't do things like that. You do things like that.
Oh, you don't know things like that, and you sit over a fucking sink having
I'm
a
not
piss.
shitting though, am I?
Well, no, I know, only because I've just beat you to it. But the seat's bad, I'll tell you what, it's fucking
You
bad
turn
in
away,
here.
but don't
Yeah.
turn away to mirror.
I'm going to turn away now because she is removing her backside from the sink.
And you want to see the size of the sink?
Yeah, you wait while you see the sink. She's fitted
The actual
on.
tabs over here.
Hey, you're getting really vulgar.
Just turn away.
Right, I'm away.
Top at range them desks. Can't get better than them. Down in the cupboard. And Kirsty worked at hospital, so I'd pick her up at 4:30 at Rotherham Hospital. We'd drive all the way down to Skeggy, do the gig, pack all the gear back up, get back home at 2:30 in the morning. She were back up at 6 o'clock, to go back to work.
Well, what can we say about that job, Kirsty?
Shite.
Absolutely shite. Loads of kids being swung all over the place. Not a bit of notice. People playing cards, people reading papers. Just a pile of fucking crap. Well, we've just passed Tim's shelf and we were going to call in for a Scotch egg and pork pie and a sandwich. But if we do that, we'll have no money left for on feed tonight. So, it's back home. I've just bought a bottle of Magners. Can't fucking stand cider. But at £2.80, I thought it'll take me all night once I get on computer to drink the bastard. So that's what I'm going to do. Up the Magners and sip, sip, sip and relive that fucking horrendous job.
And you're not getting out back off the audience. It's demoralising. What am I doing? Well, luckily I can pull Kirsty through everything.
I'm sat deliberating about another wonderful job. A pub where nobody give a fuck. Nobody were interested. We felt 2 inch tall. It was just one of them jobs that you thought, I want to hang myself. So when people tell me it's a lovely, great job and enjoyable, just go to the fucking on the Tuesday night, please.
It's like an aerobic class, what you do, isn't it? It is.
She's known on Facebook, and she's not going to even go on it, but she's known as the weird dancer.
You call me weird?
Not you.
You call me
I'm not calling you, I'm saying what other people say.
We struggle doing 3 nights. No, we're knackered.
You'll be
We're too old.
After watching what you do, I'm not
We're
surprised.
too old, aren't we?
Never stop. That's like 45 minutes like half a football match, isn't it? And you're moving just as much, really. Well, nobody's trying to tackle you. Well, not yet, anyway.
It's happened.
Oh, it's happened, don't worry about
You were wrong.
No, she wants us.
Whose name? Dickhead.
Oh, yeah. No, it is Paul.
I'll sort it out this day.
Yeah. Sort of that, Paul.
She's not well, by the way. Tell them what's up with you. Well, she's got a sore throat. And
I ain't got a cold, I've just got a sore throat.
And the thing with Kirsty is if she gets a sore throat, she can't get out hard.
Weren't that bad tonight though?
But-
It's surprise just tonight.
Yeah, she did alright tonight. Whereas with me, it don't matter what I'm like, I still get it out. Just to... No, I should rephrase that, shouldn't I? Yeah. When I say I still get it out, I mean, I still, my vocals still get out. I'm not saying any good, but...
I'm not saying that either.
No. on message board, somebody described us as a fat bloke and a bird that dances.
Right.
Right.
I'm going to say hello.
Yeah. So
Wait a minute.
So that's what they say. That, by the way, is the concert chairman. That's Ray. And so Ray's hit the big time tonight because he'll be viewed by millions. Ray's fetched us all the money in. We're going to get an armed escort out of this club, aren't we, Ray, with this money?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Right, it's good night from me and it's good night from Ray.
In fact, when I was younger, my music teacher said well,
Got a bit of a cough.
why? he said to me, what's that? He says, you've got a musical ear. It's shaped like a piano.
So I'm walking with Zinks across dance floor. It was packed with a club. He's walking behind me shouting, Marvin Knobhead, get outside, I'm going to kill you. How many knew my nickname? I don't know. But anyway, so she comes on stage and said, what's up with him? I went, it was a fave. Anyway, I went up to him and I said, listen mate, I don't want no trouble. I said, we're here to work, it's only game again. You know what I mean? Anyway, he sat there with his wife, didn't he, all night? And all the way through singing, he's going. And she's like, shitting herself, weren't you? She said, what are we going to do? It's that clean. Anyway, I said, he'll calm down, Gets to the end of the night, he hasn't calmed down, has he? He's still here. Next thing, the concert chairman pulled him to one side, didn't he? So listen, calm down. We don't want no trouble. I'm wrapping the leads up, like that. And you know when you just think, we've had enough. And I threw all leads down, didn't I? And I jumped off stage and I ran up to him and grabbed him, didn't I? Bang, bang. Like, his face went, everybody jumps in. His wife then attacks her, tries attacking her. So this woman in the audience, she says, you get on that stage to her, I'll deal with this bastard. And she took her earrings
out
and then she like had to go, you know, this woman and that.
Hey, I think it's died down now. Everybody's going to beat me up. I think they've all shit the same. So,
What?
you know,
Beat you up?
yeah, when you know when they're all going to say they're going to beat me up, and if they see me, they're going to slap me and do it. Fucking.
No, I do that.
Yeah, I fucking like to see any of them do it.
I do that.
I bang the fuckers out, big style. You're not there to entertain fucking other acts. You know, the superstar acts. I just hope you're going to come out better than you look. You look like a spunk, honestly.
Okay.
Oh, for all the acts that say you're not allowed to eat and you shouldn't eat, Right, if you had sniff and scratch now, look, we're just
it?
about to eat this before we walk on. And all these acts that say, I have tepid tea.
Mustard mayonnaise.
I have a bit of tepid tea.
Made by my own
And I go on and I lubricate my vocal cords before I entertain everyone. What do we think of that?
Posh.
Yeah, fucking get a fucking life, will you people? We've been doing it for fucking 20 years. We're fucking, and then you've got the fucking Johnny Grow Lightly gang.
I can't say a bad word against her. 'Cause like I say, she's given her a life just to be in shitty working men's clubs. But yeah, 3 cheers for Kirsty. Being a new romantic in a mining village, as you would say, in Rawmarsh was a very odd thing to be. Flamboyant. I had long fringe like Phil Oakey. I used to wear lipstick and eyeliner, and everybody thought I was gay. And my dad, he wouldn't go out at the same time as me, and so I had to leave the house an hour before my dad. I always remember we were once in a competition in Sheffield called Battle of the Band. I used to work at Dale Farm at the time, and when we never got placed, it all kicked off. And it all started because as I was singing, somebody shouted that I were a puff.
Right, what's the difference?
I think the headline was Battle of the Bands ends on sour note as yogurt workers fight it out. So as the commentator said to the football team, the football manager, can you give me a rundown of your team? My team consists of Baz. Baz has always been with me since day one, and My Pierrot Dolls. Very honest, very reliable, will do anything for anybody, and he's always there. Always late, never ever 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 on time, no matter what. But one thing about Baz, he will give 100%, and he's actually a very underrated musician. At left back, I've got Ian, the brother, the younger brother. I think Ian's always aspired to be me. I think he sometimes looks up at me as being the big brother and that. And Ian's another one. He's not, well, he'll admit himself, he's not a brilliant keyboard player. He's never been a keyboard player. We only got him in the band because it were less hassle in being on stage than out watching us and end up fating everybody. Centre off, and that's Pete Ancliffe. Never seen Pete for 40 odd years, and when he used to be in band, he was a bit of a poser. He was known for going swimming but not getting his hair wet. You never knew what would win on Pete's mind. And then he left the band, him and his other synth player Ian, and we never saw out him for 40 years. And then with this reunion gig, he's come back on the scene. He takes the butt of a lot of piss taking and winding up and that, and he takes it all in good spirit.
And as soon as it gets darker, that's where the magic happens, isn't it? It's like your lights, isn't it? Oh yeah. As soon as you get it dark, that's when it just bursts to life. That's what I love about these.
Yeah. Does any of them, by the way, I mean, they don't have to, but does any of them actually strobe? So Ian's idea is this, that obviously all lights are going to black out, so it's pitch black inside. Right, yeah. He then there's this like Chinese music, bing, 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 all that. He wanted you then, he said it would be ideal if you could get some type of laser effect that would just like like
Over the edge,
yeah, or like one liner, but you know, something like a heartbeat just going over like that, not a full on, just a light. Oh, now that is the beat.
Yeah.
That is the one for me.
We've got two of those. We've done that before, your gigs.
Hold on a minute, I'm going to stand in the middle of that.
Yeah.
See what it looks like. Hello. So, but no, I mean, I'm looking forward to it because we've like sold the amount of tickets that they've given us.
Yeah.
And it's a free pint.
Wow, that sounds good.
Yeah, for your first, as long as you're in for 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I've put rest of the lads, we're all on a curfew. We've all said that you're only having 2 pints
before we go
on. See, I like them, you know, flat bean like that.
You go in the kitchen now, you'll see.
You can see them better.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah. Now that one here, that is superb, isn't it? That
That's
one
why
there.
it's so expensive.
Yeah. Oh, is that the 2,000 quid one? You're all right. You're a teetotal, so
I can't drink the lasers. I'll drink afterwards, but if you operate lasers, that's a rule: no alcohol.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Although it's a beautiful, fun thing, it's also a very serious
dangerous,
thing.
isn't it?
Oh yeah, you've got to know what you're doing. It's got to be done correctly.
Yeah.
You can't play about.
And in a big, massive room like that chancery, it'll fill all.
Oh, that one. Well, that's 1.5 watts to the right. That other one is 3 watts, but it's a pure diode. It's a much better laser.
So they're not. These ones are obviously not dangerous.
No,
if it hits you in eye or like that.
How cool is
Pierrot Doll cup.
I'm not saying they're a set of mugs, like, but you know.
Yeah. Did you notice though? I never
you
used the word mug, did I?
I was waiting just to get the line in.
Pierrot cup, that, yeah.
Have you got a garden light show as well?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Have a look.
That's all external LED controlled lighting.
Like a grotto?
Well, he just lights some trees up.
Hoodie, 8,000 gigs and played to 1 million people. I've probably listened through 100, 200, 300 hours of somebody calling bingo numbers. I've probably heard the saying, the shit, 100 times. I've heard best thing since sliced bread about 3 times in 45 years. But that's showbiz for you.
Right. How would I describe Ivor? Spiky, ambitious, barking mad.
Oi!
I can remember playing the Shambles pub in Barnsley with the Dolls, and after the gig I'd come off the stage and a guy came over to me and spoke to me, and then he went off back to his mates, and I think he'd won his bet because I could hear him saying, "I told you it were a bloke." I can remember playing one gig in Rotherham in a pub. I think it was called the Grapes. We went down really well, and after the gig I was talking to this guy in the audience who kept calling me Roland, and when his mate asked him why he would call me Roland, he said, well, that's his name, he's got it wrote on his synthesizers.
One thing I would say, back in the early days, he showed a drive and ambition to get the band out of its collective bedroom, shall we say, getting us to do gigs and stuff. He got the drive, you know, to push us forward, believed in us, changed the name from the Frozen Ones, which we thought was completely brilliant, but I think he famously said, you know, we could do with a French name, you know, like Depeche Mode or Visage. And yeah, I've known him for 42 years and it's been a good working relationship. Over recent years, of the social media age, there's something that we lovingly call Stella Night, where Ivor stays in, drinks a lot, and then starts to abuse people on social media. And, you know, nobody's safe.
So is that when you start your interactions online, when you've got a few beers?
To be honest, I think the rest of the lads are probably pissed off with me anyway, because that's when I have a rant. I like say, come on, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. Gig's only gig's only 3 weeks away. We've just got a new batch of t-shirts and there's only me flogging them. And I said, surely you can just share it on Facebook, or surely you can do it. And then I've got Baz, tonight we're rehearsing, and then he's going, can't come. I said, what do you mean can't come? He's going, I'm drinking bingo. I said, what do you mean bingo? He said, I call bingo numbers at rugby club.
2 and 9, 29. 6 and 9,
Whoa!
69.
Woo, woo, woo! Yum, yum.
Fred Perry's, even Adidas, and Stone Island, coat. Not even took badges off them. I've not even wore that night for a year. Assault suit with it. Right. My flamboyant shirt for the Dolls reunion.
Nice.
Look at that.
Nice.
That black trousers, black boots. I even got one for Ian, but because he's not as trendy as me, he says, oh no, I'm not.
I thought you were wearing Pierrot doll outfit anyway.
He said he's going to wear it. I think you should wear that. Please from me down the dark, you can escape.
Try it on.
Should we all get one?
Left it a bit late now.
Left it a bit late, mate, haven't I?
Oh, I see it. Got that one, I thought it'd be brilliant. Look at that. And he went, no, I'll just wear a black t-shirt. They're not stylish like me. Georgie.
Ah, the cheap one.
What's the big packed out? I haven't got time for it. Oh, I thought you'd bring it butchers. Oh.
It's 0.5 outside and back, and then just a bit of up top like that, just a little bit.
I think he wants it a bit like mine.
I don't want it like yours.
Mine's a superstar one. Have the same one all the time. Number one at sides and leave it really heavy on top.
Don't take a picture of anyone, any celebrities?
No, I believe it or not, I take a picture of myself for once when they cut it and I liked it, so I say I want it cut like that again. People often get a mistake from my father. My father's nickname was Dentures, weren't it? So when he first got some teeth then, everybody called him Dentures. And it just stuck with him though, didn't it? Everybody called him Dentures. And my mum, they called her Queenie. And my dad called her Queenie. And my father could eat a raw steak with his gums. He could chew an apple with his gums. In fact, when I think he got first set of teeth when he in his 40s. When it for wedding when I got married. Yeah, he got it for when I got married. He got his first set of teeth.
You look well on wedding pictures.
Oh, I look brilliant. Took him out for evening do like.
I often think these days, I wonder if my dad were actually proud of me, proud of my individuality when I was growing up. And my dad was a miner and he worked down the pit all his life. But it must have been a bit strange for him to be, as they say, a real man working down coal mines, and then his son flouncing about in frilly trousers and frilly shirts and red hair and blue hair and green hair. That my dad, it looked like he wore makeup, but it weren't. it was the coal dust from working down the pit all his life that looked like mascara. But it must have been hard for him, and he probably never ever did say that he was proud, and that's probably something that I probably wish he would have done. At the end of the day, he was a miner, worked, like I said, worked down a pit and that, and I was just someone who wanted to make it in the music world, and I tried my best. I'm sure he's up there now looking down and thinking, go on Ive, go on son. Hot Wheels tracks, even what's that word, indelible? Thing me on my memory, Hot Wheels track.
I always denied that she was written to that.
Yeah, used to when we were kids, we had an Hot Wheels track, yellow tracks, and when we were really naughty, I think my mother used to get on the Hot Wheels track, like that arse. Never made us bad though, did it? Yeah.
You were 34 at the time.
Oh yeah. He came as a shop to Julie when she was here visiting, and I had to bend over and my mum was slapping with the Hot Wheels. She said, oh, they're kinky these. So I blame Julie for all this music malarkey. It was Julie who bought me my first mic at 20-year-old. It was SM58 and I had it for about 30 years until it totally rotted. But to be fair to Julie, we've been married 40 years now, and she's stuck with it, and she's had a lot to put up with. As the kids were growing up, Christmas Eve, I was never there. Christmas Day, we used to have us dinner up at her mum's, and then at 4 o'clock we'd had to come home, and I had to get in the van and go to a shitty working men's club where there'd be half a dozen people there. So she's had to put up with a lot. Also, kids are both grown up now. We've got 3 lovely grandkids. But no, she's stuck with it, old lass has. And they call this the fort sack, where I sit, and I sit here all the time. As long as I've got my remote. And then I just sit here all the time. Yeah, no, we do give Pete a bit of leeway because he lives other end of Sheffield. Baz lives on next street to here. 55-inch that.
HD.
Yeah. Funny enough though, I had my man cave done, and that's got a 75-inch telly in. It's all been done out with record player and everything, and I never ever go in there. Julie's in there all the time. I just like here because I can nosy out the window like that.
Don't you sit together and watch telly?
No. We've met once or twice, past if I've been going at bogs or what, to toilet. All the songs I wrote in the 80s for My Pierrot Dolls were all depressing, sad. There's no such thing as a happy song. I don't know if that highlighted the fact it was 80s. We were going through a miners' strike. We lived in the north. I watched Dickinson's Real Deal and guessed prices of stuff. Then I watched Somewhere in the Sun. And then I'll just go all day until 7 o'clock, and Julie, it amazes Julie that at 7 I'll lock my first bottle of beer, and then I'll start, then get on to football then, and then I'll put football on, but I don't really watch it, I just mess about on my phone all day, all night.
I must admit that did sound more like Close Encounters.
When I wake up in the morning, I line all my beer, all bottles on that top there, and then I'll count them in the morning and just go, oh, I didn't do bad there, I had 8 there, 10 there.
What's your standard weekday night on beers then?
I'd say average 10 bottles. Easy 10 bottles.
Oh, see it. That volume might be a lot better. face. Little doll, I've been to your way. Tell the world you're here to stay. Piero, 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 I can't drink during the weekend because obviously I'm gigging and I'm driving. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I never touch it out. So when I get to Monday, it's like the start of my weekend. So that's why people might think it's a bit weird, thinking, well, they don't drink during the week, and thinking, well, old Ivors on beer again. In fact, when I'm on Facebook, I usually put a picture of what I'm drinking, and like that's neat. I put on the Moretti tonight to see how this goes, and then people will just put, oh dear, get your hats on, it's all going to kick off.
In 1985, the Dolls decided to call it a day, and I went back to working in the yogurt factory, Dale Farm. But in 1986, I had a bad football accident where I broke my tibia and fibula and was in hospital for 3 weeks on traction. I then was off work for about 4 years. What happened is when it was time to go back to the yogurt factory, I went in, and on the first day I was back, I realised that it wasn't for me working in a factory, and music was for me. So I ended up going on the clubs, and we just worked the clubs, and since that I've never looked back, and I've done clubs ever since.
Paint the body in oil of gold, cross the world in a day, take the children by the hand, listen to the words they say. Clean again. We all get on set and clean again. We'll pray again. We'll pray again. We'll pray again. We'll pray again. Take the children by the hand, listen to the words they say. Life and death is hard to say. Still the children still remain the same. We all get on set and clean again. We all get on set and clean again.
My mother, one of my abiding memories about my mother was when I was 11, I used to play for Donington Football Club. When we were playing, I think it was either Derby or Leeds United boys, I can't quite remember, and if it were away there'd be buses to take us. However, there was only buses to take the players and the manager and his assistants. I turned up this one day and kick-off was at 11 o'clock, and there on the sideline was my mother. Obviously my mother, I'm thinking, well, how she got here? Well, she got up at 6:30 in the morning and she had to catch buses all the way to Derbyshire, because obviously my mum and dad didn't have a car and neither of them could drive. Anyway, we played the game. I actually think we won 2-1, and I think I scored both the goals. I then got back on the coach and went home, and I was in the house at about 2 o'clock, and I don't think my mother got in till about 6:30 that night with all the buses and that she had to catch.
Looks a lot older than me, definitely.
What's the age difference?
I think 5 years. You wouldn't know it though.
Take a bull to this.
What?
This sore throat I've got.
Well, so what have you been doing?
No, I've been up since 3.
Have you? Nerves, that.
It's not nerves,
It's nerves.
Sarah's had it for about 5 weeks.
That's it.
Yeah.
Psychosomatic.
Yeah, that's what we call that. Psychosomatic. All to do with nerves. That's what it is. There'll be no backing. I'm like an old man. There'll be no backing vocals for you tonight, lad.
Voice of God.
1, 2, 1. See, Nick's even got the old light there.
That's the old illumination. Illuminante, yeah.
And this is my mate, Rick here, projector man. This is where it's all going to happen. We'll be cheering and singing, carrying us all the way through the park there. Yeah. So that's for the laptop. Yeah. Having one vocal. Yeah. Not be Barry and I. Yeah.
So I want a dwarf.
What?
I want a dwarf.
Sold 7 tickets.
And then 6 months later he's got a dwarf.
Yeah.
Little Jimmy Osborne. And instead of I'll be a long lover from Liverpool, I'll be a short toss from Sheffield.
Yeah.
We can't go in the line, that's what I'm saying. Baz decided he's doing vocals as well now.
No, not giving it to you to do vocals. Fire him. I'm keeping you out. You have decided to do it.
We're going to try that so you don't intro a bit and that, it lights and that. Alright, yeah. Yeah, so we don't want no tables down here, do we? We want a mosh pit. We've got people that like to mosh. And that's all bit wide.
1, 2, 4 and 8, 48. I can hear myself. Not as loud as the gentleman to my right, but I can hear myself.
You don't want to be as fucking loud as me. Keep going. It's alright.
Shall we play you a song?
Still stand down here just so. Put my ears in, because at this point you're not going to be on, are you? Then you're going to walk on. I'll play through.